Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's your boy Freeze, and so I'm just taking some time out today to kind of talk about Coelagon, the newest bot that's going to be joining our game this Friday as part of the End of Saga event. He's going to be one of the major prizes that you can win in the End of Saga event, and obviously this event is going to be a 3.5 million point event in which you can, if you complete all 3.5 million, you can win the 5-star version of Coelagon. So I've got him here in the showroom just so you can see what he looks like visually. Um, Honestly, pretty cool looking. I've seen them before on the cartoons, and it looks kind of cheesy in the cartoon. I actually like his look a little bit better in game, and I've got him up there with Pterodactyl. Um, just so I can get a little bit of bird action going on, add him a little bit of health points. I'll walk you through some of the combat bot pairings that I like with him a little bit later on. I won't show all of them. I'll show them with Pterodactyl, but just because I'm working on combat bots on test server right now, and I don't want to give away any secrets by accident. So that's what we're looking at. So for him, my suggestion, honestly, I like him with the Amalgamous Prime Core, and just because when you look at his overall ability, and I'll show you his stats here in a moment, but his ability is going to be what they call overcharge. It's a 20 seconds in alternate mode, and so that allows him to be a good candidate for the Amalgamous Prime Core. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and just try to solo him right now. I think I got him in zone 15 right now. And he did get hit by leader 1, so he's stunned right now. But Amalgamous is kind of keeping him alive. And it's not bad, man. And he gets a little bit of speed boost from this ability as well. He's in some heavy traffic, so zone 15 might be a little bit of push. Now I will tell you, when we first got this bot in playtest, he had about 41k of health, and at that point he was easily able to take zone 15 solo on, depending on layout, but most layouts you could do that. So we'll take a look at his stats just now that you've seen a little bit what he can do. And and also in this case, I forgot that I left Alchemist Prime on him, so you got a chance to look at what it looks like with Alchemist Prime. But you can see he's a pretty high damage bot. He's at 367.4 for a level 65 5-star, in addition to having 35,900 in health. His ability, Overcharge, at level 10 for 20 seconds. You double your attack speed, deal 4 times damage to walls, and increase melee attacks, dealing 1,334 damage. So my true suggestion for this bot is to use the Amalgamous Prime Core that I actually thought that I had installed on him the first time, but I forgot that I switched to Alchemist. So let's take a look at that to get his damage increase and to also get his additional health while in the alternate mode. And he'll get a little bit of additional health from that level 10 5-star Pterodactyl like I actually have on my live server as well. And I actually want to, I'm curious, I want to try zone 15 again with that, see how that goes. But yeah, I think it's going to be a pretty good bot. So we'll, long story short, we'll see. This is one of my fellow playtesters, EP Prime, in there, so his layout's probably going to be a little bit more difficult when you're trying to run a solo. But I'm genuinely curious. Alright, so I've got him with Amalgamous Prime, and he's going to get stunned. So I'm going to go ahead and drop my team in, give him some assistance. But that's not even going to be good. I'll try to see if I can keep him alive and keep running the replay. Now, one thing I don't have on my test account, I don't have the stun immunity yet. I don't have it on the live server yet either. I'm working on that this week. But that'll be one of those things that warrior stun immunity could come in clutch for a bot like this. So if you don't have that and you're going for this bot, I highly suggest that you go ahead and you run that. Alright, so now we got him out of the time period where he's stunned, and I got him trying to get him to heal back up a little bit, and I'm not really doing a whole lot in terms of pathing or anything like that, because I was my original intention was to solo him, but didn't work out like that. Alright, and he died, so I'm gonna go ahead and back out of here and see if I can run him again in another zone 15 base, see what he looks like. But regardless, I think that he's a bot that you can use if you go use the correct tactics like I would use in a war situation. I think that he's a bot that's going to be war worthy. Maybe I maybe use him similarly to how I would use maybe like a sound wave or something like that, except for he's a warrior. You know, this guy's a warrior and he's going to do significant damage using his special ability. So I think that might be the way to go. But a lot of comparisons to put it in perspective, some of the playtesters compared him to like a black arachnia or a Cheetor, but with a lot more health, so you're not worried about them dying on you. Alright, so let's try to start off hunting for the solo again. And when I'm looking at here, is I just see him, and he's really tearing down some defenses and some resource buildings very quickly. And with the Amalgamous Prime Core, you know, he's you're not really worried about him taking too much damage. Now you see Smoke Screen come out there, so he takes a good chunk of his health with his special ability. But let's see if we can get him built back up again. And then in this case, this is where I said that stun immunity would come in handy. Or if you are one of the people that use Vertebreak, then you had that ability. So that's actually one of my suggestions. If you saw the newsletter, that was one of Text to Titans suggestions. You know, the Autobot counterpart, Rat Trap, was one of his. Just because he's not using the warrior stun ability either. But yeah, I mean, it's not bad. He did pretty good, and it's just one of those things that I didn't put him in position to not get stunned, which I think you always should do if you're going to use a bot like this. It's going to try to slowly advance the battlefield like that. Now, let's try him in zone 14. Let's see how that goes. That's one of the areas where, to be honest with you, I easily soloed. So this will be a good power leveling bot that you can use for events, so on and so forth. Alright, so here's Coelagon. And this is actually a good example to use him on because, you know, this base is, you know, the walls are enclosed up front. And part of his ability was to knock out those walls and do some wall damage. And so you'll see that he tears up those sections of wall relatively quickly, to be honest. And he's also doing the same for the defenses and for all the other buildings that he has around him. And with that Amalgamous Prime Core, honestly, he's not taking too much damage. So this should wind up being a relatively easy solo. Now I'll use Triptychon up there, hit one defense in the back, no big deal. But now we've used about 1 minute and 15 seconds on the clock, and he's cleared that entire bottom section all by himself, you know, with the maxed out version. So honestly, man, this bot's pretty good, and he's worth pursuing for this event. I'm pursuing the 4-star myself, but just because I'm pretty solid on frontline bots. But if I was in need of one, I definitely would just consider going for the 4-star or 5-star, excuse me. So some of the questions I was getting from players, they were saying, well, does he need Amalgamous Prime? Me and I think 3 or 4 other play testers in the newsletter suggested the Amalgamous Prime core. And so I'll tell you guys, for if you're new to my channel, I'm always going to give you the suggestion of whatever the best combo is for a butt. 100% of the time, what I feel like is going to be the best. And so anytime I see 20 seconds on an ability, Amalgamous Prime Core is my favorite Prime Core anyway. So I'll just say that out loud for anyone that's listening. So I'll take it off. I'll leave Pterodactyl on. Like I said, I'm testing combat bots right now, so I don't want anybody to see the new combat bot until it's ready for me to be released on video. But I'll take away his Amalgamous Prime, and you can see what he does. And we'll try that in zone 14 as well. And then once we get done with that, I'll give you a legitimate look at what I think a war attempt would look like with Coelagon on my team. Alright, so let's see. We're going to go ahead and just run him down here on the bottom. Try for another solo. It's unfortunate because the way this is set up, you've got 3 outpost bots there. So he's probably going to trip all of them. One of them, well, all 4 of them are there actually, but one of them is being upgraded. Once again, we're in zone 14. And alright, so he's going to get stunned by Star Saber. But he's got plenty of health to deal with it, so now he's just going to continue on his rampage. And honestly, it's not much you can do about it. So yeah, I'm just going to keep letting them go on. And yeah, with the help of the Titan over there, with Triptychon's doing a little bit of work also, I think this becomes an easy solo, even without the Amalgamous Prime Core. Now it's gonna be kind of a pain because now he's just hacking away at that wall without using the special ability, so it's gonna take him a little bit longer. But at the same time, Triptychon's doing a lot of the work for him. So, but even without Triptychon, I think this is an easy solo. I mean, right now I'm at 1 minute and 30 seconds. There's plenty of time left and I don't have any outpost bots to fight. Plenty of time left to solo this base. Now, speaking about the whole power core thing, like, I know it's kind of hard to separate. Like, I wouldn't want to separate from my Amalgamous Prime Core. I currently carry on Impactor, but I always talk about what's the best fit. And I'll give you an example. One time I did a video on Singe, and I put Singe on Cutthroat, and I also put my Quintus Prime Core on Cutthroat for the demonstration. And instantly, folks was like, "Well, you don't use your Quintus Prime Core that way. You should use it on this bot." And we got a lot of, "Hey man, we copy and paste, all of our different bot combinations, and they are better combinations to use." My point is that with that level of health, the guy was pretty much unbeatable. So I'll show you a good combination, but I also usually show you some alternates. So in this case, I think some of the alternates that you might use would be, when you, instead of using Amalgamous Prime, you could use, just like you would with any other warrior, you could go use a Vitality Core, or you could use Rejuvenate Core. I think Rejuvenate's probably your best bet because he's already, you just want him to keep healing while he's attacking. Amalgamous is just better because it's going to amplify his pre-existing damage. So what I'm going to do is go run him with my war team in the prime zone, and we'll see how that goes. But honestly, man, go into the comments and let me know what you think. You think this is be a good bot? Are you planning on going for this bot for this weekend? Let me know. And if you got any additional questions, I always players always ask me questions, and I'll just run you like a video. I can send it to your Discord, to your Line app, or I can run it in my server that I got on Discord as well. However you want to do it, just to if you got additional questions. Alright, so we're going to run him in the prime zone. Ooh, I got one of my play tester buddies in here, so that's probably going to be a pretty tough base. Let's see how that shakes out. But I just always like to show team chemistry up here as well when I start looking at particular bots. And this one's got a lot of walls and everything up front as well, so we'll see how that goes. I think in this case I didn't bring like a sacrifice bot, so I'm going to use my outpost popper and Soundwave, and then I'll drop some other bots in there behind them. And I want to get rid of that FFD, and that's going to be a problem because we are going to run into Chromia there for a second. So here's what I'll do. I'll go ahead and drop the combiner because I think that I can handle the rest of it with a little bit of assistance from Soundwave, and I'll give that. I'll run the clock a little bit on Chromia, get her tower down so it's not taking up my whole team. And the combiner didn't pop out. I was surprised about that, but alright. So I'm on my test account, so it may not be charged. I might have just showed it as charged temporarily. Alright, so now that I'm not getting stunned, let's run him and let's use him to get some of these walls down. So I'm gonna go carry him up here to the spider mine up here at the top. And honestly, I probably would have changed up my war team a little bit. I probably would have put him in place of Impactor, and I would have bought Brawl in here for this situation. But I ain't think about it. But because I got a good wall buster with me with Coelagon, then I'll probably do that. Now I will say, if walls make a comeback again like they once were, then I would strongly consider using Wall Buster situationally, not for my everyday purposes. But it's an option because Wall Busting is part of this ability, so you got a lot of flexibility. You can use Vitality, you can use Rejuvenate, you can use a lot of different things of value depending on the situation. Yeah, I mean, like you can see, he's holding up pretty good with that Amalgamous Prime Core, and a couple of healers back there backing him up. He's war worthy, man. I mean, this is as real as it gets. These are prime league players, play testers, base that I'm running this against, and he's not exactly having problems. Now I keep getting stunned because I didn't set up my team the way that I would normally set up my team. But I'm also got Cutthroat down there throwing down that smoke, so it's not really a problem. Not really taking too much damage. But look at Coelagon. He's actually leading in health right now when you look at those bars. Well, Cutthroat's got his. And then, if you guys hadn't seen my video on Roller Force, he's in the mix too. So he's speeding up things even better with Coelagon and the rest of the team as well. So it makes for a pretty decent victory. But alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and cut out of here. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, go ahead and drop a like. And if you got any other questions, you can always reach me on my Discord. And that'll actually show on my outro screen here in a minute, but it's Freezius Max number 4009. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer on my run video for you. Anything that you might want to know about this bot or any other bots in the game, to be honest. But I'll leave links for all my social medias in the description of this video, and they're also going to be listed on the about section of my YouTube channel. But other than that, hopefully you guys have a really good weekend. I hope you guys do go out here and pull this bot, if that's what you're working for this weekend. But other than that, I'll see you out there in the event, and I'll see you on my next YouTube video, which should be on Monday. And I'll see you on the battlefield, guys. Freezy is out.